Today we're gonna get into tripods. Little tripods, monopod, travel tripods, video tripods, whatever everyday use tripods. Everything to do about tripods, different heads, mounting things, plates, even something like this. If you're just starting out in photography, be sure to make a wise investment because it can be very expensive. I'm also gonna give you an idea as to how you can save a few $100 if you ever have the need for a very long monopod. If you're new to the channel, my name is Charles Wollertz, this is Wollertz Photography, and here we talk about all things photography, usually with a little bit of stock photography in mind. I would like to take a second to thank all of the channel members because you guys are incredible. Thank you so much for your support. Every day there's more and more, and I really can't thank you enough. Now, I'm noticing that the light behind me is a little bit bright, so I am going to dim that here real quick, just because I don't want it to be distracting. That's literally just an accent. I don't need it to be super bright. Let's go there. Why so many different styles? And look, this has been my everyday tripod for 10 plus years. That's why it's loose and I can tighten it. It's got screws here you can tighten and I just haven't had the chance. This is an everyday tripod. It's heavy duty, it's solid, and it's an aluminum tripod. This is the Manfrotto 290 something. Like I said, it's old. This one is the newer LT38 and it's a travel tripod. It's a little bit shorter, 61 inch, this one's 72. What is the difference? Why one's considered travel, the other one's not? So here's both tripods. You can see the difference in size. That's why this one is considered a travel tripod. It's a lot lighter, but you can see the difference. Now, if you follow the channel, you also know that this tripod is gonna be the price for this month's competition. And remember to rate all of those images because that's very helpful. So I'll put a link down below. The other difference that these two tripods have, and this is, you can change this, is the tripod head. See, this is a ball head. You see that ball there? It only has one lever. I can adjust this. And now I can move that in every direction. Let me put a camera on it. See, it's got one lever and then the camera can go like that. Wherever I need it to go, I can move it. This one, old school, 3D tripod, I think, up and down, sideways, and this one to rotate. So there's slight differences on the tripod head. That is what this is. That's not important. The big thing is the tripod itself. So that is the main difference between your everyday use, which is usually a little bit heavier, sturdier, solid, and then something like this, that's a travel tripod. And I also have this one, two travel tripods. What is the difference between these two? By the way, did you know that a tripod can cost you anywhere from 20 bucks to $2,000?
What the?
If you don't believe me, look up Gitzo tripods. Okay, now this tripod here, this is a Vanguard Evo 265 CB. I bought it in 2019. Now the magic trick is here on the head. It did something where it folds down, and now you can pack it in your suitcase and it takes a little bit less space. The Evo, the Vanguard, is aluminum. This one is carbon fiber. This is the newer tripod. They weigh about the same. The newer one is a little bit more stable with weight. The main difference between these two, and I'll show you here, you see the circular things here on the legs? That's how you turn and then you release and lock. These things sometimes work better than other times. I've had good luck with this one, but this monopod that has the same system, half of them don't work anymore. The newer has these spring-loaded clips. Super easy, you can adjust them. It's very easy to just clip them. I've only been using this one for a few months and it's still performing great. This one that I've used for 10 years, these are getting tight and scratchy, and I've had this in salt water, I've had it everywhere, but it also has these clips. Over time, they tend to loosen up a little bit, but it's just a screwdriver thing and you're ready to go. And what is this? This is a video tripod, and they're known because they have what's called a fluid head, which means that when you're panning, your video is gonna be super smooth. This is a small rig, and as you're panning, but see what I mean? This is the twisty thing, and it's so hard to adjust it. It's not my favorite. Now for video, it's great. It's smooth, it pans, but it's limited in the mobility. It will not go all the way up because this hits the leg, and it does go all the way down. I can just tighten or loosen how fast I want it to move up and down or side to side, but it won't tilt or straighten out the horizon, which is a pain if you're not on a level surface. Then you gotta start adjusting the legs, and each leg is gonna give you that, difficult to adjust legs. Now, most of the tripods have this that let you lift the legs all the way up or down and then lock it in different increments. That's a fantastic feature, and they're all getting better and better at it. We also have little tiny tabletop tripods for when we wanna get low. I've used my Canon R5 on this tripod. I don't recommend it. We also have little things like this. This is for like an Insta360 or a GoPro. They work very well on small cameras, not so much on the big ones. This Z-mount, this is fantastic, and you can use it in multiple angles, multiple places, and you can literally just turn your camera in any direction that you're looking at. It's not the easiest to use, and you can't lock it, so it can be a little bit of a pain, but if you want to put your camera on a tripod here and then use this as a head, it's very flexible in how you can move and adjust your tripod. But again, you can't go side to side, just up and down. Most tripods come with a pretty case like this one. Guess what? Never used it. Every tripod I bought comes in a case like that. It's beautiful. You're not gonna take your tripod, you throw it on a backpack or hang it on the back of the... I've never seen anybody carry a case. Most tripods have what's called a mounting plate. Years ago, they weren't standard. That's why I have so many, because every tripod I have had a different plate, and that's really complicated because, you want to use a camera on this one, and then you want to use it on the monopod, and now you got to switch everything. Or you want to use telephoto, so you got to get another one of the same thing. A pain. Today, you'll notice that there's something called the Swiss Arca plate. And that is a new standard. So this video tripod will take the Swiss Arca, which is this one, and it is good to go. Like I said, I can flip the camera this way, flip it, push the button, flip it that way. For video, I can extend that, and now I can pan and get good video. If I want to mount this on the newer, it also fits because it's a standard. It's also the Swiss Arca plate. So now, I have the camera on the newer tripod. And again, because it's a ball head, I can loosen here, and now I can go side to side. It's gonna help me with the composition no matter where I am. Another cool thing about the Swiss Arca is that I bought the Peak Design V-clip for your backpack. So literally just slide in there and you're good to go. This is a small camera. I use this for infrared photography. It's great. When I put the big camera here, it's bulky and distracting. Something small like this, you're fine. The only reason it works is because it has the standard Swiss Arca plate. Keep that in mind. When you buy something, remember that there's a standard now. Okay, now, how do you use a tripod? This might sound like a dumb thing, but if you've never done it before, you make the mistake I made millions of times. When you open a tripod, see, it's got 3 legs. You want to put one in front of you and leave 2 so you can walk in. I can't tell you how many people I see tripping over because they put one in between their legs and then they're kicking it and moving. If you just open the 2 here, one to the front, you fit right in the middle, you're safe. All tripods are gonna have the stronger section of the leg, which is the larger section. So see, this is wider, this is a little bit narrower, and a little bit narrower. If you want stability, don't use it on the narrow. If you don't need that much height, only use the widest area. That'll give you more stability than the skinny piece at the bottom of the legs. The same thing applies to the neck of the tripod. See, this is very stable here right now. I can even push down very hard. The higher I go with this, I'm gonna lose stability. So even though it goes all the way up here and I could, see, it already wiggles and jiggles. A little bit of wind, my videos are gonna be blurry. So if you want stability, keep it down as much as possible. And if you need a little extra, most tripods have a little hook underneath. That's a place where you can hook your backpack to add weight and keep it stable. A little bit of extra weight pulling down is gonna hold that from the wind and help you get better shots. I do wanna warn you about the $20 tripods you can find in Amazon. I've tried a whole bunch of different ones. You've seen all the ones I just showed you. I've tried a whole bunch of different tripods, and when you get the cheap $20 ones, they're not stable. They're gonna ruin your shots. So look for something 80 or 100 bucks, something that has a weight rating that can handle your camera, and always try to double that. This tripod, this Manfrotto, this was not cheap, and I got ripped off when I bought it. I needed one emergency, and I overpaid by a lot. But this thing is a beast. It is solid and very stable. Like I said, I've used it almost every day for over 10 years, 15 years. And this thing, it's solid. I know my camera's gonna be safe, even though I broke my 24-70 with this tripod, and that was user error. I was moving an extension cord and I knocked one of the legs out. But it wasn't the tripod's fault, that was all me. This newer tripod is the one I've been using now every day. It's a little bit shorter. I don't need to be way up there anymore. I can do most of it from chest level for the type of photography and video I'm doing now. And even though it's not as solid, like physically solid, I can put quite a bit of weight on this. And when it's on the ground like this, it's stable. And I mean, it is solid. It's carbon fiber, and it can handle quite a bit of weight. But like I said before, the higher you go with the next, the more instability you're gonna add. Something else that's really cool about this tripod, and I know other ones do it as well, is the flexibility. See, this one, not only does the leg go, it can go all the way up, all of them, or go flat. Something that most tripods that I've shown you here do not have is the ability to get low to the ground. But this one, I could just unscrew this piece here in the head and then just loosen this. That goes out. Now I can go extremely low to the ground by moving the legs up. See? I've always wanted a tripod that could do this, and this one absolutely does. There's many times where you want to shoot from down low looking up. That's really going to help your composition. And to be able to get this low and still have control over your camera, your angles, by moving the ball head, that is fantastic. So I highly recommend, if you're looking for a tripod, to look for all of these features. Make sure that it can handle more than your heaviest lens in your camera, because you don't want things falling over and you want it to be stable. The other thing, what's important to you? Height, weight, space. If you want something compact, this, like I said, the Manfrotto is great. It's big and bulky and very heavy. This one, I can take anywhere and don't even notice it. So yeah, I'll take that one. And no, this is not sponsored by Neewer. I'm just giving you an honest opinion. This one, the Vanguard Evo 265, it's great. I took it to Scotland, England, I've been everywhere with it. I don't like the twisty legs. It's a great travel tripod, but just because, I can't tell you how many times you don't adjust one because it's got 4, and just because of that, I'd rather use this one. The other thing you should consider before purchasing a tripod is the flexibility and the movement. Like I said, this one, let me see if I have a plate here. That's what I mean about the Swiss Arca thing. Okay, see, I put the bigger camera on the Neewer and it's stable, it's fine. This one, you can go in any direction like I showed before, up and down and around, and literally get any composition that you want. This one doesn't have that flexibility. It would seem like it does, but I can't go straight up, see? It hits. I physically cannot go straight up. I can go straight down, but not up. The solution is to put the plate backwards and then use the tripod backwards. I've done that. Shooting stars at night, everything is backwards, it's a pain. Now, monopods are, see what I mean? That's why I don't like the twisty things. Monopods are great for stability if you have a long lens and you just want to hold it stable and your arm doesn't get tired if you're shooting birds or wildlife. And these are fantastic if you're walking, super easy. They come like this. You could put a head on it, just screw it on, and now you have the flexibility of moving that around. This one is carbon fiber. I've used it and abused it, which is why it's falling apart. Recently here in the US, there's been a lot of talk about drones, and there's a lot of people that don't want drones anywhere. And now the new cities and parks and stuff are making drone bans. You can't fly from those areas. But what if you have a 15 or 20 foot monopod and you put your camera up there? Then you can control it with your remote or with your phone, so you can see what you're doing with your camera on a pole. Those poles can be anywhere from $300 to $500. That's expensive for a monopod. What I've done in the past, and again, this might be a little sketchy, but it works. Here's my camera pole that goes about 15 feet. Yes, this was a broom. I think it cost me like $20. And I bought this from Amazon. And it's literally just a painter's brush to 1/4 inch mount. Literally, it screws onto the top of this. And now I can put my camera right on there, or put the ball head on top. Then you can put your camera here, and now you have a extendable, very long pole for your camera. And I've done this when I go to the coast. The Oregon coast doesn't allow drones anymore, pretty much anywhere. California doesn't either. But by having something like this, you can use your remote, you can use your phone to compose and take the photos. Now, look, I don't trust this like this. I'm not gonna put my $5,000 camera here with the lens and everything and expect that to work just fine. So for a little bit of safety thing, I couldn't find my Gorilla Tape, so I'm gonna use this. A little bit of extra safety, I just tape that little $5 piece I bought from Amazon, because that's $5 holding 5,000. And then I also have these super clamps, C-clamps. And I can put one right here in the middle, and that's gonna make sure that that stays connected and it's not gonna get unscrewed, see? It's solid. So there we go. Now I have a monopod that's extendable. As an extra level of security, I always put the camera strap on the inside of the pole, so that if it slides off or falls off, it's gonna be strapped, and the strap is gonna make it fall on my arms instead of over my head. I also gonna lock the strap with another clamp. Again, these clamps, everything here cost me less than $50. And instead of buying a $300 telescoping thing, that's pretty much it. And you can see that so yeah, I can extend it, I can bring it up in the air, I can take pictures with a wide angle, 45 megapixels way up there, lock that in place. I'm hitting the ceiling here, and you can see what I mean about using a painter's pole instead of a carbon fiber camera monopod extendable. As soon as you say camera, things jump in price. Tripods can be some of the most overlooked accessories for photography, and now you know why. There's too many options. It's like mind-blowing. When you don't know what you're looking for, there's way too many options. So now you know that with the levers here, they're very solid, but they limit your mobility. Something with the ball head, now you can adjust and aim anywhere, any direction you want. Perfect. Most ball heads. If you get a video tripod, now you know you're not gonna be able to adjust it and get the compositions you want. So there's a lot of decisions to make, and I hope this video helped you understand a little bit more. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.